Bonjour. What's up, George? What's up, Wendy? How are you both? Thanks for dropping in already. Right, let's flick this around and let's get started, shall we? Let's have a look. How are we all doing this evening, afternoon? What's up, Jesse? How are you doing? Good to see you. Are you taking a bit of a breather from the tutorials? What's up, Kirsty? How you doing? Isn't it weird, right? That in our country we will wear tops like this with Atlanta on it and stuff like that. Yeah, I wouldn't wear a top that said London or Manchester or or Bristol on it. I wouldn't do that at all. But it's just weird that we do with like the States stuff. You were taking a little break. I knew it. See, I'm keeping an eye out. I'm keeping an eye out for names all the time. What's up, Celeste? How you doing? Good to see you have a go at the throwback tutorial this week. All right, should we flip this round so you can actually see what we're going to do? What's up, Milo? How are you? How are we all? Oh, actually, I'm going to check one thing before we crack on. Give me 2 seconds. Let's see. I just want to see if there's a particular feature that I should have, but I don't know if I do. Let's just triple check. Hold fire. I got into NFTs and my wife hates it, but I'm a big fan of you. How is the NFT life? How's that going? Are you sort of buying them to flip them? So like make a quick profit on them? Or what are you doing with them? Enjoyed the nap. I wasn't taking... to be fair, I tried to. I was shattered today. I've had such a nightmare. I got stuck in a McDonald's drive-through for about half an hour, just stuck at the kiosk thingy. Can we do this here? 2 secs. Here we go. What's up, Kay? How are you? A waste of money? Oh no. Oh no. Hold fire, folks. Few moments, nearly done. Just use my camera for a minute. We did lose the camera. Give me 2 sec. Oh, hang on. Let me flick this around because I'm just trying something for the stream. Give me 2 seconds. Let's just... The stream is going to pot a little bit. Hold fire. Got it. There we go. There we go. There we go. So what I just did there was, excuse me sort of messing around with the stream and stuff, is just gifted 10 members in the chat. So if you're in the chat, you may have just been selected at random to be a new member. So by doing that, 10 random people were gifted memberships. I can see it in the chat now. There we go. I can see it in the chat starting to come in. So what memberships are, and I think my computer may be struggling a little bit. We'll see where we get to in a second. I'll try and close these windows down a little bit. There we go. All right, let me know if you can hear me. I think we're good on audio. We should be good on audio. No. You can hear me? Audio good? Awesome. Okay, so 10, you can now gift memberships on YouTube. So I just gifted the chat 10 memberships. So 10 of you will be, and I have nothing to do with this, 10 of you are randomly selected and you'll be gifted a membership. The only thing, what that allows you to do is you get a little badge icon beside your name there. And if you decide to keep this on and you want to become a member on YouTube, that badge changes color for a couple of months and it continues to make its way up from navy through to green, through to blue, then into bronze, silver and gold. So it changes over a period of time. So all it does is just show you're a member and a supporter of the chat. You get some extra emojis that you can use in the chat, such as Procreate. I think there's Punchy, all sorts of things that I end up saying. So you get some extra emojis. Like I said, you get your support there, and your little badge there shows in the comments on YouTube as well. So you'll have the little badge beside your name for a month now. So I've gifted you a membership for a month at random, and so you'll have the little icon beside your name, and it will show in your comments. It will show, there you go, Sebastian's using it. It will show in the comments. It will show anywhere on my channel, and you may even see your name on the front of my channel as well, where it shows the members. So you'll be able to see that at the front and center. So it's going to start making its way through, and it will pick at random, but you'll potentially grab a membership. There we go. That's the third one. I think I'll let that run through. You guys enjoy, and I will crack on. That's pretty cool, hey? They took that idea from Twitch, so now you can gift gift memberships, should I say. Milo got one. There you go. Celeste got one as well. Right, I'm gonna let that run through because otherwise I'll just be watching that. How cool is that? How cool is that? I see streamers do it all the time where if they get something wrong, you know, they cock up, they, you know, make a mistake. They're like, fine, I'll gift you chat, you know, whatever. So that's pretty cool. Nice little feature. And if you ever in the future want to gift memberships to other people as well, you do. It works in exactly the same way. You gift, and you gift for a certain amount of members, and it goes straight into the chat, and people are picked at random. So Kirsty's just been given one as well. What else was there? I was going to say. And so it's up to you if you want. It's a way of supporting the channel, basically, in short. My memberships are set up where it's 99 pence a month. So it's 99 pence a month. You can support the channel that way. It's just a little way of, you know, financially supporting the channel. And you get like a little loyalty badge and whatnot beside your names. So let's switch out to, let's go down to this. Where's it gone? Right, that's alarming because there should be a fair few more pallets here. Oh, lantern. many have we been through? I don't know how many it's been through, so I'm a bit worried that Julie might not get one. Also, I missed out on a couple of other faces. Troy's in the chat as well. How you doing, Troy? Good to see you. Right, let's zoom out of here, and you can see my screen okay? As always, it's a bit too bright on that end. One day I promise you, one day you'll come into the stream and I'll have bought a brand new camera. It'll be unbelievable. We'll be at like the cinema. But for now, we'll stick with what we got. You're very welcome, Kirsty. You're very welcome. Okay, so this is a practice, but also, yeah, it's also practice for an upcoming tutorial. This is a Patreon tutorial, and it is based on a Chinese lantern design. So, really fun design, and very similar to the balloon animal that we did today. Well, came up on Patreon today. It was live, went live today, and it is a matter of just creating one element and then using it multiple times to repeat it throughout the rest of the screen. The rest of the screen? God, I'm looking all over the place. I need to concentrate. It's a way of just looking out for creating one element and it repeating all over the canvas. So you only do it once, let it just repeat, and it does all the work for you. So it can be really daunting to look at the design as such, but in reality it's a lot of repeating lanterns in this particular instance. Adrieli. Oh, I'm so sorry if I butchered that. Was also gifted one, Julie. I don't know how many we've been through. You might have to scroll back and have a look. It's such a cool feature because now you can gift it and just like gift the community, which is pretty cool. What's up, Marie? How are you doing? We were just talking about gifted memberships. I did 10 to the chat, and I don't know how many we've been through so far, but Julie's yet to possibly receive one, so it's at random. So we'll see if she does get selected. Otherwise, I would imagine it's fairly well. Right, so a couple of stars in the background. Probably just drop some bigger ones in there. Get back down to the smaller size. Gifted a membership. So you know the YouTube memberships, Marie. You can now on a live stream gift them. So it's like Twitch. You can. I selected. I want to gift 10. And 10 were gifted to anybody who was in the chat, and it's still picking at random up to 10 people. So once you pay for the amount you want, they're then gifted out. And Troy also, did I just see Troy gift that? Troy also gifted 10 memberships in the chat. Troy, thank you so much. Let's get a round of applause for Troy. Did I hear that? There we go. We got a little... and a yay. Troy, I appreciate the support. Gifting memberships in the chat. 10 of you will now be randomly selected. You'll be given a membership. Memberships, in short, if you're just about to get one, they will have a little badge beside your name, and that shows your Julie got a membership. There we go, Julie. That shows that you're a member of the channel. So if you comment on any of my videos while you are a member, while you've been selected as a member, it shows your little badge icon beside your name, and it shows your status. So the first month of you being a member, you'll see is a little navy icon beside your names, and then it changes from navy to green to show 2 months. It then changes from green to blue, and that shows 3 months. And then there's a bigger gap. It goes up to 6 months where it changes to bronze. It then changes after 1 year to silver, and then it changes from silver to gold after 2 years. So it's pretty long. I think we're just about to hit the first YouTube member supporter for the silver badge, and I'll have to check. But yeah, it's up to you if you want to carry it on afterwards. It's totally up to you. You've already 1 month in, so if you ever go and sign up to it again, you've already got your membership sort of rolling, and you can carry on with it next month. My memberships are really cheap. I wanted to make them as cheap as possible. It's essentially the loyalty badge, the extra emojis, the support for the channel, and it's 99 pence a month. I don't know what that equates to in your countries, wherever you are in the world, potentially 99 cents. I'm not too sure. But you can choose to carry it on if you want to. It's totally up to you. But you're gifted one this month if you've received one in the chat. So I think that's almost everyone in the chat's been gifted. We've got loads of them coming in. Can you tell us about your glove? Are they helpful? So I was asked this on YouTube actually earlier this morning, I think it was. So the glove itself it goes on your small finger, and then this one obviously, and then just comes onto your wrist just a little bit. Now if you take a look at the design of it, see this section here, this one is slightly thicker than this right section. So this one here is just a little bit thicker. Now the reason for that is this section here allows you to slide across the screen really smooth. Now I know the iPad and I know Procreate is set up to avoid accidental touches, but it doesn't all the time. You can be drawing a line. I've done it loads of times when the glove is not on, and you'll draw a line and then all of a sudden get a detour because the heat of your hand potentially, and the lack of if you come off your pressure just a little bit too much, it then thinks you've moved all the way to the right hand side where your palm was, and boom, you've got a janky line on the screen. So the glove, I tell you what, when you first get it, you'll think it's a bit odd, especially the fact that if you're doing 3 fingers to swipe down to get the copy paste menu, I would normally do it with like these 3 fingers. But when you get adjusted and you go to this, and it's just a bit of muscle memory, it then allows you to continue doing that. It's super smooth, really comfortable. If you go onto so mine's from Pen.Tips. It's part of their designer bundle. You can go onto their website and you can pick like this full bundle or just the glove. It's up to you. There's a link in the description down below if you want to check them out. It's also an affiliate link, so if you do, it supports the channel. But you can pick your size. It tells you what to measure so you can get the right size. But it's really comfortable, and once you start wearing it and then you stop wearing it for drawing, it's very, very, very strange. So there's lots of companies that do them, but Pen.Tips is the one I've got mine from, and I'm very happy with the quality of it. So I've never tried another one. So and Jay's just said there in the chat that happens to them as well. So regarding the accidental touches. So let me just quickly scroll back up the chat because I don't want to miss anybody, and I can see everybody's getting gifted memberships, which is freaking awesome. Elizabeth is here. How are you doing, Elizabeth? But just wanted to pop in and say hi, and thanks, Troy. That was awesome. Oh, I wonder why your name was different, Marie. I wonder why it said owner of Martian Creations. Spoke about the glove. No, Marie, I have multiple YouTube accounts. I have my personal YouTube, and then Joel Create, obviously. And I'm going to make a second account as well, but I'll tell you more about that another time, probably next week. So I'm not sure, since Troy's went through, everybody's been gifted, so it will slowly start to look through the chat and pick people out to become members. Troy, again, massive thank you to you for gifting to the chat. Really appreciate that. Helps everybody join the community. And Christy's here. Christy is the one I was talking about, who's very, very, very close to becoming the first silver badge member on YouTube. So the minute you see Christy's got the bronze badge, and it's about to change, I think, next month to silver, I think. Yeah, Charlie is here. He's down at my feet at the minute, and Daisy's somewhere back there. I'm on dog duty tonight as Mrs. Create is out, so. Right, I think we are all caught up. Christy, sorry, my bad. How are you doing? How's life? I know it's very early for you in the morning. Right, should we get started actually on the lantern first of all? As I said, this one's already been done as a design. It's already going to be a tutorial, so you're getting, I guess, like a sneak peek almost in a sense. But obviously this one that I'm drawing right now isn't the actual one, so, but the methods are the same. I'm very pleased this week because I managed to catch back up on my Patreon tutorials. I managed to catch back up on where I was because I was ill when I went away. Came back, I just lost a little bit of my progress. I always like to stay quite far ahead of myself and making sure you guys have got your tutorials no matter what. Again, in case I'm ill, which I was, so that helps out a bunch. So you'll see this come to life in a second when I start to draw in all the shapes. I'll catch back up with you all in a second. I can't wait for you to see next month's tutorials. I know I say it all the time, you know, big exciting month next month, you know, all this, but I'm always excited about my designs and you guys getting hold of them and seeing what we're gonna come up with. No, there's no landscape tutorial next month, I will say. No landscape tutorial on Patreon. We're having a month off. Where are we? Life is good, stupid busy. Oh, amen to that. The Patreon tutorial is really cool. I appreciate that one, Milo. It is very fun. And especially the fact you only draw once and that's it. You got the whole of the design done. You can just nail that first one, which I think is pretty cool because there's not a lot of work to do afterwards. Once you get that first bit done, it's very much, you know, sit back, watch it all come to life by doing the rest of the tutorial. So who's doing that tutorial as we speak, sort of thing? Is that something people are working on at the minute? Because I noticed, I don't think I have seen any yet. So I always sort of wait and gauge to see how people get on and just sort of wait in the wings, I guess, to see if I've done something wrong or need to adjust anything potentially. Okay, let's see this come to life now. So let's start adding in some colour. Unfortunately, because I know what the camera's like, I know later on in the design it's going to start to look a bit funky. The boy fears, I just loved how simple you made it and how incredible it looks. I finished it last night. Ah, awesome. I wonder why the membership thing's not carried through yet. I would imagine you'd be gifted one at this point. Done and dusted. I loved it so much, but don't post anywhere. Hey, you can come post it to me over on Discord if you want me to see it. Be good to see how you get on. iPad, so I've got to turn the brightness right down for that. And Kirsty has just become a patron. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Let's have a yay in the chat. There we go. And we just saw Kirsty on the screen. Just became a patron to your channel from East Sussex. Kirsty, thank you. Welcome to the family. Enjoy the tutorials. You can see them all in this corner here. So when we do these live streams every Wednesday, these are always updated and you can see all the tutorials there. Everything you see in this little window that's cycling round, they are all the tutorials that you unlock on Patreon. You unlock them all straight away and I appreciate the support. I really do. Welcome. Enjoy yourself. If there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. And you should get an email pretty shortly just to let you know of all the little bits and bobs that you can do once you join. I can't remember specifically if I jumped straight to this color or not. So again, this tutorial's already been done. It's yeah, it was that way around. So again, a bit of like a very early preview, really, of this particular design. So what we're doing is we're just going to slowly start to bring in the lighting. As always, I always say to you, just sort of trust the process. Let that lighting all just come to life. See what we come up with. Okay, I see there's lots of patrons in the chat as well, so you'll be making friends with them. If you come and join us over on Discord, there's a link in the description. It's also in your welcome email as well. You can come and join in, have a chat with everybody, and everybody shares their designs over there on Discord as well. In my little corner of the internet. My little. Is there a Discord connected to the Patreon of Joel? There absolutely is, Celeste. You can. It's in the description down below, and there's a section in there. I don't know if anybody minds doing this for me, but if somebody could go into Discord and grab the link that says when Celeste first joins, or when somebody first joins in the welcome, it says, "Are you a patron? You know, click this link to link your account." Oh, Christy, sorry, you gotta run. Love to everyone. Christy, I appreciate you dropping in. Have a wonderful day. Takizio's here. How are you doing? Wow, Wendy says you wanted to start the paper cutout tutorial. Which one was that? Is that the Easter one, or is that on Patreon? Is that the sort of stag in the woods one, the snowy sort of looking? I've done so many now. Right, then there is one more step. We do a clipping mask. We change this to add, and we start to paint in a much brighter center. So you'll see this start to really come to life, and I say this in the tutorial, so you'll notice when I say it when you get this. Right towards the end is where it really does come to life. So you will need to sort of bear in mind that from the start, and watch it really, because there's lots of steps in this one that make the final product look so cool. Okay, we're getting there already. We're getting there already. What happened to the YouTube chat then? Oh, the 3D reef. I'm with you, I'm with you. There you go, you can see it. Oh, I just went past. It was right at the bottom of the screen there, I spotted. Okay, so the next step is actually then for me to, I believe, switch it to this tone. Introduce some creases. I've got to lean me head right in on this one. So just introducing some creases in the paper. Grab the eraser, it's a bit smaller. I so struggle with the highlights and shadows. It's so satisfying to see the lantern come to life. I appreciate that. You watch it towards the end. And again, this will be on Patreon next month, so just bear that in mind. Let's undo that a second. Just need to. So what I'm doing here is this is how you can create like a really cool crease. I created the highlight there, you can see that, and then erased quite a sharp line through it, and then you create like a really cool crease look in it. If I do the same here, erase into this one as well, maybe even just a little bit into this one, you just create some really kind of quite sharp looking creases, I guess, in the paper, and it looks really cool. It looks very realistic. You create a much nicer look than just a little soft stroke through the lantern there. You see that? See how cool they look, nice and creased? And then this one at the top here, I can see it's actually a benefit sometimes that it comes across so bright on the screen for you, because I can see it back then, and I can see how much where all the highlights are, should I say. Pretty though, with highlights and shadows, it's just about practice and just constantly like learning the different techniques and what suits your style, really, to be honest with you. Just keep going there. Highlights and shadows are just my favorite part of every design. They bring things to life. Like we're about to do now the inside part here, and again it's very much the same. You know, we're bringing it all to life, and we're going to introduce some color into here, and again see it all come to life. I love lighting. I love the lighting I get. I'm such a sucker for it. I'm such a sucker for like real world lighting as well. Like, I do it all the time. Like we'll go shopping and I'll be like, oh, those lights look pretty cool, you know. Elizabeth, thank you so much for dropping in. I appreciate you being here, and be sure to join the Discord when you get a second, when you're finished with work. Come and join in with the chat over there. See that last little bit there? See how that just links up nicely then onto the main sort of body of it? And then we're just going to go up to here and fill out this layer for a second. Let's just blend this out. Just adding a little bit of yellow on the bars. So that changes them from sort of a harsh black there. Just makes the lighting look like it just sits on there a little bit more. And I think that's kind of enough, really. We don't necessarily need to do anything else on that one. Let me just close that chat down a second. Right. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Okay, so we've got one lantern done. And the rest of the process is very straightforward now. It's always at this stage, you just need to see if you want to just introduce any more lighting. Do I need to sort of push that up? That looks a little bit better. Just a little bit of a higher gloss there, excuse me, on the top. I think I'm good. Okay, and then we're going to merge all of these layers together. I'm going to duplicate the group though, just for this stream's purpose, just in case I make a mistake. And let's crack on. So this is where we turn it into a full sky. Maybe just stick this, which way did I do it? That way. So every time you see me look over to my right, it's me looking at the images I've sent to myself and put on the other screen, so I can always look at it as a guide. So the cool thing with this one is you end up sort of creating multiple layers. So for example, I'm going to duplicate that shape once, flip it horizontally, I'm going to scale it down, and then you end up creating like a sky of different depths. So I've tried to do this recently in different tutorials where we talk about the differences in perspective, closest to furthest, you know, blurring out certain elements that look further away, therefore creating the real sort of soft, shallow depth of focus look to it. And you'll see, again, I keep saying it, but closer towards the end, you'll see it all come to life even more, because we have lots of different layers to it. We've got ones that are really far away, we've got ones that are closer to the camera, we've got smaller ones, we've got bigger ones, we've got all sorts. So we can just position this one just up here for a second. Okay, so what you do is you've got your main focus. This is what we did in the tutorial for the what did we do recently? It was the mountain scene, the snowy peaks design, where you create your different layers and your main focus. So this time it's the other way around. It's going to be right at the front. Plasma ball is a sick idea. Very cool idea. All yours, but that is a sick idea. I would love to do that. Very, very cool. Like a lava lamp or something like that. A lava lamp's very cool. So once we've done, so this is now our main focus. This is then, if you want to call it, our mid ground. So these are our mid. You don't fill them out too much. You don't want too many in there, and we'll just group them all together for a sec. Oh. We'll then go ahead and duplicate that group for a second, and this is going to be sort of my mid to far. And again, we make sure our little lantern starts to get a bit smaller. So we drop it down into scale, roughly around about this sort of size. And now we just start to really populate the sky with even more of these. So we're just going crazy. We just start duplicating these up, making sure we flip some, we rotate some, we maybe even warp some, just to really flush it all out and make it really full. The beauty though is towards the end, when it gets blurred, you can't necessarily see that they're all the same object anyway. So it really is super fun, super quick. Well, not quick actually. I think I can't remember how long the tutorial actually is. It's roughly around about, I think it's about 45 minutes long. So let's do in Discord. It was already added. Ah, perfect, awesome. You should see some of the extra little areas as well in there. Oh, Wendy, sorry, says, oh, that's so cool. I did that on the iPad with Tatty Works Drawing. Oh, sick. I missed that further up. Plasma balls, very cool idea there though. Okay, love that. Oh, question then, while we're on the subject of sort of landscape design, is it something as a patron supporter, if you are one, that you expect to see every month on Patreon? Is it something you think is some like a what's the word I'm looking for? A staple of the subscription to me on Patreon? Is it something you expect to see every month, or you're not fussed, you're easy, you don't mind? Might be a poll that goes in, because obviously next month we don't have one. I didn't want to do one, truth be said. I wanted to have a month off from the idea, and also I had other things I wanted to draw and teach. Cool, so that is the mid to far, and where's the first one? Over here. So what we'll do is we'll duplicate the group, delete all the excess. So if you're wondering, this again is already a tutorial. It will be out next month on Patreon. You love the landscapes? Julie says, no, not at all. They're probably the ones I've done the least of, actually. Fair enough. Don't expect anything, only new tutorials. Good feedback, appreciate that. That is good. It's always good to, you'll notice like with the polls and stuff, I'm always wanting to just triple check. Not just triple check like for my own sake, just to make sure that there's good communication and just making sure you're happy with what we got. So now I'm just planting a few in the sky. These are our pretty far ones at this point. I need to start bringing some of them further down the screen into this area here. Rotating a few. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to merge all those together, duplicate them, move them across. That's cool. Flip them horizontal and maybe just fill out the screen a little bit more. Like so. Let's get rid these couple here, merge them together. I think I need to do a couple more of the really small ones. Oh no, that's not it. See, at this stage now, and this is what I teach in the tutorial, is about just sort of duplicating your layers. Save yourself some time. Don't go spending too much time flushing out the whole thing when it's not really necessary. Get rid of some of these ones over here. That's looking a lot more full. You can see that. Look at the sky already. Kirsty's just joined Discord. Perfect. Enjoy. Get involved. It's a great little community. There's a set of rules from the start that if everybody abides by, it's a lovely place to hang out. Share your designs. Judgment free. Marie says, oh, funky. Oh, okay. Troy, I'm good with whatever you do. I've just gotten behind as work has been horrible, but hours should slack off. Perfect. Okay, much appreciated. Cool. Okay. I think everybody sort of, must be like, everyone is getting super busy at the minute. Like I say, like being on this side, I notice like I don't see certain people's names for a little while, and you catch them back up a little. You catch up on them a little bit, see where they are. Check in. Okay, cool. So now the fun part here is once everything's now done, we then need to flatten all the groups. This is where we start to create the depth. Blur them out at different levels, even the ones that are just behind, just a little bit. And straight away, you create so much more focus on this one. This little fella here, create loads more focus on that one. It is our front runner. And then we'll pinch all of them together and create some fun glows. Oh, wrong layer. I remember what I went up to. Ah, there we go. That's better. That is absolutely it. Wendy, I'm going to bed. Have a nice day, everyone. Wendy, I appreciate you dropping in. I'll see you hopefully again next week. That one's too much, that final one. And the background probably could just do with a little Gaussian blur to fade those colours into each other a little bit. Can you see that? Literally from start to finish. You've got now the beautiful glows in here. Again, I apologise for the camera being a bit too sort of overexposed, a bit sort of fuzzy and bright. But you can see the difference now from the very beginning. You've got these beautiful glows in behind each one, and just look at that sky all the way to the back. I've rushed the background a little bit too much, I think. I think the stars shouldn't have been as big as that, and they don't look as big as that. And the sky's a little bit darker in the final one. For example, I may just grab the eraser here. Start to just maybe just blend out some of the colour towards that area there, just to sort of really, there you go, look at that, look at the night sky towards there, just how it sort of blends out towards the top. Very fun, very cool, very nice and easy stuff. I want to give you some sneak peeks of stuff, but I'm not sure what yet. Let's have a look. I'll switch this around, see if there's anything that we can do. Switched around, yeah, cool. Glarid, oh god almighty, Glarid almighty. Hello and thanks for the tutorials. You're very welcome, my friend. You're very, very welcome. And if you've just joined, we have a new Patreon tutorial that just went live yesterday. We have this really cool balloon dog. Which I think, do you know what the one thing I really love about this one, which I think, I don't know why, and it just really makes the whole thing come to life, is this on the end, the tie. I don't know why, because all the other ones, you know, they all fit their purpose, but without that, and the end on here as well, which is things, you know, just the two extra things you have to add alongside that sort of pill shape, it brings the whole thing, it ties the whole thing together. Like without it, I don't even think I've got it without, oh, there we go. Just looks so weird. But once you add that, I think it's, again, just those final little extra touches that just tie everything together. Jay, I'm still here. I'm just having to do stuff, but I'm listening. I appreciate you being here still, hanging out. Yeah, that's cool. Very pleased with this. Do you want to see some, let me just quickly show you sort of a process, essentially, that I had to go through to get to that stage, because I think that's quite important sometimes, and something I'm going to try and sometimes bring to light a little bit more. So we have, this is another version that was done. So this is very contrasty in comparison. Once I'd finished this version, because this one I actually did 3 times, and this one, the brightness and there was actually more colors in the palette than what you now get in the palette. There was a lot darker tones, and you'll notice when you do the tutorial, we start with a base color and we only add highlights other than one tone that's slightly like a mucky version. This is, again, introduce some of the darker tones still in the palette, which I eventually got rid of. But you can see there's lots more contrast in these areas, and as much as I like it, it looks pretty cool and very sort of chromy. It doesn't look like a balloon. Like it looks cool, and by all means, like Jay says there, it looks cool. You know, if you want to add some darker tones, go for it. It didn't look like a balloon. It didn't have that kind of translucent look to it. Yeah, it just didn't really look how I wanted it to. Now I'm going to show you another one. Just 2 seconds. I'm going to show you another one where this one's even more different, because this is the first attempt I did of it. This one, you can see this was meant to be like metallic, but my mind, you know, for other people to see it, the first thing you would see here is balloon dog, and that doesn't look like a balloon dog. So it was way too strong. Sort of messed around with some colors in the background. You get, obviously in the current one that you saw, there's shadows underneath the feet, so it looks like it's sort of standing on a surface, which looks pretty cool. But this one's very metallic. You can also see the proportions were different for majority of the items. For example, like this pill is very small, and that's the only one, and then it gets dragged out to create the legs. You'll also notice potentially that, like this one up here, I introduced some curves in here, so just more rounded, bubbly look. So it looks like it rounds all the way around. And I think if I actually go ahead and go back to the last one, I want to show you again. I think it's important to show the process sometimes in little bits like that. With this one, what I actually also ended up doing was, you can see here at the bottom, is this pill here. I just used the smudge tool and just smudged it out on top of the one in behind, and it makes it look like it creates that loop. So this looks like it actually runs round onto the other side. I didn't want to make the tutorial any longer than it already was. I wanted to keep it relatively simple. I wanted a lot of people to feel like they could do it and create something really cool. So little features like this get sacrificed here and there. You'll hear your favorite creators say it all the time. We'll draw something all the time and try and work out how to simplify it, bring it into a sort of more simple setup, so that everyone can do it. So yeah, little things like that, little smudge tool, also a little sort of warping of the balloon. So these are things you can bear in mind for your own one if you want, if you're going to do it or haven't yet done it, or have already done it. Just little things like that. So a little sort of smudge in there. And I think at the top here, this one is also rounded in some way, slight smudge there I was attempting. But overall, I think the look compared to the final product that we ended up making, let's go back to the final one that we ended up making, which was this one here. It's got way more of a translucent look to it. Everything looks like it sits in the correct spot properly, you know, the legs here, and I'm very, very pleased with how it looks. You've got the little highlight accents and stuff. It looks a lot more translucent, right? It looks a lot closer to what it should look like. And also the background, kept it simple. Bang, splash of the soft airbrush in the background, little shadow underneath, and that's what we needed to do to sort of bring it to life a little bit more. So I was very pleased with how that one came out. And again, we added the additions in the end of sort of the tie and the end of the balloon on this end. I'll also go back actually, because the very first one that I did, just again trying to show you the process continuously, I wonder if I kept the layers. Oh yeah, let's have a look. So if we take a look at the layers, you'll see that the final version is this blue one that you see on the top, but the actual very first one I drew was this one. Just a weird orange, bronze. It was meant to look metallic. Didn't want it to look metallic in the end. Oh, you'll also notice this cool addition if you want to add it to yours and not do the floor idea at the bottom, like a little tie, as if it's like floating in the sky, got helium in it maybe. But this little tie around the sort of waist was a concept. Just let that run off. And the background I think was meant to look like sky, so that's another option if you want to create another version of the one that you end up drawing. But didn't like these colors. I think I also tried lots of things, like here you'll notice this end of the pill has been sort of compressed down. Creating the one shape and then using it all the way through just kept things in the same proportion all the way around, so it doesn't look imbalanced. To me, there's a lot of imbalance here. These legs look enormous. The nose just looks weird and tiny. The tail's too upright. That's way too long. But this is what you get. This is what you get when you see your first sort of run through or something. And I think the very first hill was, I don't think I saved it. Or did I? I did. There we go. That's your first one. So we got rid of these sort of darker tones. We moved some more highlights from not just one side. We moved them to the other side as well. But I hate it. I hate how that color came out to start with. Didn't look anything like I wanted it to. But that is very common for me to do. I will always go through multiple iterations of the same design multiple times before we get there. For example, just the one that we've just drawn, the lantern, this is the very first one. This is the first lantern. I mocked this up and I thought, oh, it looks really cool. I'm very happy with it. It looks nothing like the final one in a sense, because there's no creases on here. It's very basic with the line work up and down here, unnecessary. Too much yellow, not enough focus on the flame in the center. Same concept, you know, flipped, blurred everywhere in behind. There's not very small ones in the distance too much. Just very simple. Like if you look at that one and then I flip it around and we go to, let's say, just the one that we just literally drew. The difference, you know, we've got more of a warmer tone in there, way more focus on the lighting here. So that's obviously where the flame is. You've got these beautiful creases on the edge of the text. Just lots of little things that if you draw it again, you'll do something different, draw it again. And unfortunately, I wish I could draw things like 15 times and just see how they come out, but it's done well like that. You don't get the time, unfortunately. Marie says, oh, that looks like my friend's bronze balloon dog figure. It's realistic, Joel. So, like I said, I wanted it to look metallic because the reference image I was actually drawing from was a metallic figure. It was a metallic sort of figure that you'd pop on your side, or you know, on a shelving or whatever. But yeah, like a metallic. The cool thing with the balloon one is I've taught you guys this loads of times, is at the end, just go to your hue, saturation and brightness and change the hue slider and pick any color. Change it. You don't have to be blue. It could be red, could be green, could be anything. Just mess around with the saturation though and lower it up and down. You'll be able to create something really cool. Right, let's have a look and see if there's anything else I want to just show you for a second while we're talking about processes. Okay, let's talk about, say, the dog one, because the dog one's quite an interesting one at the minute, because I've had quite a few people comment on the dog one. The dog video is doing well in terms of the watercolors. It is, unfortunately, the type of tutorial that if your dog has lots of colors or very little colors, it might not work. It's unfortunate that obviously each dog's patterns are different, colors, etc. can throw people off. But this was one version I did. Is there more in this folder? Is it this one that's got multiple in it? No. And that was from this dog here. So that dog's got, you could argue it's just two tones in terms of color, white and ginger, orange, golden, either. But when you get to its final, you know, it's very pale in comparison. Try to break and separate the two. But that was just, again, one to practice on that I was doing. With some kind of tutorial like that, it's always good to practice on multiple types of dogs, because your final customer, essentially the person doing the tutorial, is going to end up with lots of, you know, their own pets in there, their cats. You know, it's going to be very different per person, so always good to try that with multiple dogs. This one, I don't know why, the eyes just look so beautiful. I think it's this eye, I don't know why. It's very pretty dog. So that was another one, and then I think there's one more folder I can show you, essentially, with, not that one, is it this one? Oh yeah, we've got one more. Then there's this folder, so it's got the actual dog. That's one of the first iterations of it that we actually used for the tutorial design. And then there's one more just here as well. It's a little puppy. And I thought a little splash here on the collar looked pretty cool, as if it was like a tag, like a little name tag. So Leslie says, did the snowy mountains yesterday. It looks so good after following the steps. That's awesome. Make sure to share it with me on Instagram. Links to all my socials are in the description down below. Love seeing the Patreon tutorials. So that's the dog tutorial. Is there anything else we should look at for a moment, just while we're talking about processes? Jay says, I need to try a dog. I only did that trick with Johnny Depp's photo. Is that Johnny? Was that? Oh yeah, it was that tutorial, because I did another watercolor tutorial a while ago. Interestingly, this is how the Snowy Peaks design originally looked, while we're talking about that. This is originally how it was concept, but the concept was put together. The concept for this one was a bit different. Obviously, you see it right there. Look at the difference between that one and this one up here. The concept of drawing the mountain is exactly the same, but it was the perspective of where are you looking at it. This one, I envisioned that this hiker was right at the top on like an equal playing field-ish, and the mountain peak there, I don't know why I'm pointing, like you can see what I'm looking, it's there. One idiot. The mountain peak there was like poking its head through the clouds. So it was, you know, showing this, trying to really show how tall it actually was, and then you were on your little escape pit. The only reason I didn't like this so much was because I didn't like the detail here, and I didn't want to add a lot of detail, because this was the focus of the design. You should always remember that your focus of your design is exactly that. Everything else is just playing a role in filling the scene, but it's not important. It's always your main focus. So that's what it originally looked like. But then there was also other variations of it. There was also like this one here. I know I keep jumping in between bits because it's on different canvases. This one was a different interpretation of it. This one was again kind of like a bit of landscape here with a bit of snow on it, some trees that I was starting to colour in. But this didn't look right either, because it made the mountain look like it was about 5 foot high. So didn't give the perspective of how it should look. In reality, I guess this landscape here at the bottom should have probably moved a good chunk down. Like this should have really been like down here somewhere. But again, it still doesn't really give the right impression. But that's just a matter of just doing the same design, or duplicate your canvas, go back to it, make a change to it, see what you come up with, see what variations you can make. Just going to go back just to see if there is other versions as well. For example, this was very close to, if not the same as the final version, which was the Orca design. I love this tutorial. I'll tell you why I love it. The way this marble looks inside this water is just beautiful. And the blues that this comes out with on top of this blue, and then in these blues as well, the sort of bright teals and all that in there, they look so cool. But that was pretty, and also the marble underneath the sort of belly of the orca as well is just chef kiss, beautiful. But then if we flick this round and we take a look at what I was originally gonna do, it was this one. Very, very simple in terms of the difference. I was using the dust brush under here and on the top edges. The clouds were using, I think it was a wood brush, that kind of thing. Very boring, not a lot going for it in reality, in comparison to the difference between that and the final product. Just looking at that back now. Very different, very, very different. Jay says, I love doing that one. Turned into a sticker with your brushes, that's sick. Julie also loved the orca design, and Milo knows exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go back and see what else we got. This one, do you know, I don't remember off the top of my head where this ended up going. Do you remember this one from Christmas? This one was a Christmas design, and I didn't know what to put in the background, if to add a background at all, but this was the first iteration of it. But again, this is also using that perspective, you know, by blurring out the background, you let the snow here stay in focus and let it sort of sit on top of the blur. Really crisp, very pretty. But then if we go to here and flick this around, this was another interpretation of it where I was messing around with just the background being plain, but the difference is like so different. The difference is huge, should I say, because like this, see, it doesn't look that bad when I look at that and I think, if I saw that on a thumbnail for a video, would I want to draw it? And I'd be like, I probably would, but I think with the trees in the background, it just gave it an environment to live in. Looked pretty cool. Again, just variations, iterations. Okay, this is actually a really good one, and I might as well just show you my screen at this point because this is all really old content anyway. This is the Halloween paper cut design. Just take a look at how much progression each one gets until we get to, this was pretty much the final design. This actual one you're looking at there is not the final version, but the iterations that I had to go through to get to there, that was really, why are you yawning? Jesus. That was really painful to get to, of a process. This was the first one. The concept was the tree in front of the moon looks nice and spooky, a tombstone here, hand coming out, and a castle sort of in the background, and trees and layered back. You'll also see, if I zoom in, there's a different texture on it. It's very canvassy kind of look to it. But for a start, there's lots going on here. You've got a tree trying to take up most of the screen. You've got a tombstone. You've got a hand trying to take the limelight. You've got a moon and the castle. A lot going on. But then when you back out of that, we go to this one here. We're getting a bit closer. I was messing around with shadows and colors at this point. The hand has taken up most of the space there, so it's on its own layer here. So it's not being sort of joined up with a tombstone at this point. It's very much on its own layer, only that set space. The tree, the castle now remain, and the trees in the background just, oh my god, why am I yawning so much? And the trees in the background are, how long have we been on for? An hour. Just filler content. And then when we go back, starting to get a bit closer, but this one I really don't like. The only thing that's cool here is I started to introduce this element here, so a light source, which then gives the paper all its lighting. So it's starting to come to life with that aspect, which looks pretty cool. I think this is getting very close now. We then introduce the crisp edges. So again, like progression, add in little bits, see how you get on. What would you change? What would you create next time, sort of thing. And it's really, really close there. I think it's pretty much there. And then I think this was very close to the final version, where we introduce. I've moved the light source. That's what's happened now. You see the glow up here. That's the light source, which means the shadows are all being sort of pushed that way. And then you can see that depth all the way down, which is pretty cool. Oh, it's really nice. Very pleased with that one. Yeah, that was that one. You can see there's a couple of iterations of the same design, seeing different techniques. This was using the same technique as the goldfish or the fish design, the glowing fish design. Yeah, just using that technique, which is pretty cool. Christy says the watercolor worked on my black greyhound and came out really well. Perfect. That's awesome. Did I see that on Instagram? I think I did, didn't I? That was that one. Iterations of the city. Iterations of the Halloween pumpkin design. Watercolor. Thumbnails. There's Julie's name. There's Marie's name. Iterations of Cooper and the astronaut and the campfire. The campfire one's pretty cool because the concept changed quite a bit. This was the original concept. This is a Patreon. This is not a Patreon tutorial. Specifically this one, the one you're soon to see is. Celeste says, have a nice evening, everyone. I need to go back to work early. So good night till next time. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate you being here, and we'll see you again next week, hopefully. So yeah, a little campfire design, which I thought was pretty cool. You can see sort of breaks in the rocks here where the light starts to spill out. I thought that was a pretty cool little feature. Concepting it up though, I don't know why I didn't like it. I can't remember. I think there was something here meant to be as well. That then changed into this very sort of simplified version, just the fire in front of you, as if this is your perspective, as if this is your eyes looking at this exact scene. I don't know, maybe one's yours, maybe one's your friend's, or maybe you got one in each hand, but you got 2 marshmallow sticks there. And I think this one got a bit closer to the final one with the smoke, was an addition. But yeah, that was that one. The treehouse one, which is always my biggest disappointment because I thought it was always going to do really well and it didn't necessarily do that well. I think it's pretty cool. Like, you're using negative space to create the cool design. That's on YouTube if you are interested. The Northern Lights, that's a cool one. That one also started as a square but ended up as sort of a rectangle, quite tall, so we could get lots of colour in the sky. And we're getting really low down into all these now. Not sure what else is down here. Old designs. These are like when I was drawing on TikTok every day. Okay, let's switch that around. You like the campfire ones? The campfire one itself that ended up though on Patreon's pretty sick. I'm pretty pleased with how that one came out in the end. Looking at Patreon, where is that? Where is it? It's the 4th one as well. Right, where are we? 1 hour 10. I don't necessarily have anything else to do. Oh, hang on. Was there a beach one with a circle there? Was that a tutorial? Oh. Ooh, you might have. Hang on. I'll tell you why I'm pulling that face in a second. Were you referring to... Where is it? Not this one. Was it this one? No. I think you're referring to... Where is it? Gone too far. Way too far. No, I think that might have been the only one you're talking about. Was this the one, Julie? Let's see if Julie. It's in a circle. Oh, I think I know which one you mean now. Okay, let me just quickly flick around to this one. Was it a minimalistic one? It's in a circle. Wait, what, this one? Maybe? This one? You'll tell me if it is. I can go look for the other one though. I know there is another one. I just need to find it. Oh, that's the one. No, that never made it to a tutorial. Why? That's the question. Why? Not necessarily a reason why that never made it. It's a cool color scheme, cool idea. I have a couple of beach designs that are coming up. There's a beach design coming next week on YouTube. Don't necessarily want to do a sneak peek just yet because obviously we've still got one more to come. So okay, this is a really interesting conversation, I would say. So when I first started doing these designs, they look like this. They look like very flat, very minimalistic. I love it. Love doing it. I'll tell you why I'm struggling with drawing things like this at the minute. Go into the level of trying to make sort of realism a little bit more in a particular style with the landscape tutorials that you've seen on YouTube, on Patreon. I'm struggling to get back to this. I'm really struggling to get back to this in terms of simplifying a design just to cool, flat, simple, basically. I think it's quite interesting because you start to go down a road of trying to do more. You're trying to do more. You're trying to do more detail, more realism, more. You're trying to get more and more perfect at it. You're trying to push yourself every time. And then when you try to go backwards and try to do something a bit more like this, where it's very simple, it's very clean, I mean, just look at it, like just the umbrella itself is very clean, it's very simple, it's a simple shape, just change it around on the other side. The water itself, there's not a lot of huge detail to it. It's two colors. You have the break and you have the color in behind you. Well, three technically, and the shadow underneath. The sort of hillside, highlight color on top, shadow color, extra dark tone. In comparison to the other designs I was doing on Patreon, where we start to get into the snowy mountain design and we try to get that more realistic look, it's hard to go the other way now. I find it really hard to go backwards, and it isn't backwards. I'll change that. It isn't backwards. It's hard to revert back to this style. In my mind, it's hard because I look at it and go, is that enough? Then I also second guess it and go, is that enough? Not for me. Is that enough for people watching? Is that enough? Am I thinking they're on the same journey as me? Are they wanting to push themselves? And then if they saw something maybe like this, where it's more minimalistic and simple, would they be frustrated with it? Like I am, sort of thing. So let me just see what you think here then. You should do the other beach one as one tutorial though. That's lovely. So the next week's YouTube tutorial is a minimalistic beach design, and it's one I drew ages ago, which is great because I never used it and went back and did it. So for that one, I'm trying to get my head back in the space. It was really fun to do and really simple, but I also added a few things I've learned across sort of the years and stuff, and in terms of just dropping in more colour or little bits of punchy colour here and there. You can all use the punchy emoji if you want, the punchy emoji that you get if you're a YouTube member. It is good for a sticker. Adrilly. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Punky says it's like a poster design. You could see like the name of the location like underneath, couldn't you? There we go. There's the punchy emoji. Well, that would be cool for YouTube, but yeah, it makes sense. So yeah, that's just kind of like a little insight for you guys on me in terms of like where my sort of head's at with this sort of style at the minute and styles in general. There is actually potentially one I can show you. Yeah, just going back, like I look at the designs and they're super clean and just real simple, but very, very sort of simply beautiful, simply nice. This one's a fun one. This one never went anywhere. This was just drawn for TikTok back in the day. Little mountain design, so I obviously know you guys absolutely can't get enough of mountains. So this is a pretty cool one. I like the palette and I like the skylines. I think they look really cool. And the trees look cool because they link onto the background colour, so they nicely frame the head shape there. What do you reckon to this one? I think these have been done like a million times on YouTube, so it would just be one extra one for you to see. You like this one? I think I need to like trust myself a little bit more to go back, look at the previous tutorials and go, not tutorials, designs, and go, people will like this sort of thing. So maybe I need to set up like a committee and just run things past you all. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome, Jay. To see how far you've come. You like the colours, Milo? Okay, cool. Okay, so shout out if you see something necessarily. What's up, Patrick? How are you doing? Thanks for dropping in. Oh, this one I felt like I wanted to do for YouTube, but we did a mandala recently, but this is just a different, like it's not well, it is 3D, but it's not like the same as the other one. The other one was meant to look like metal sort of thing. Your committee is basically this one. Yeah, that's a good call. Or maybe I could set that up actually. Well, maybe just in the general chat, like a Patreon general chat, and see what people think. This one was fun because you did it all in black line work, dropped in the colours all the way around, and then you can see there's lots of like white accent colours in here. Lots of little cool sort of little highlights, kind of graffiti style. Looks pretty sick. Milo likes the neon ones. I'm not sure what your name is there because it's in Arabic, but what is the app you use to create infinite zoom pictures? I mean, I don't use it, but I think it's called Metal. Julie says, I prefer the mandala. This mandala, that's awesome. Oh, cool. Because it's a bit cartoony, isn't it? It's a bit different. Jay says, thanks to you, Joel, I'm addicted to mandalas. See, that's awesome because you were a bit worried about them, weren't you? So it's cool to see that they're now something you're happy to do and just crack on with. Like these, they're fun to do because you only have to do it a little bit. Oh, your icon's gone bronze now. You switched accounts. That's sick. Do you know what? I'm starting to think that they didn't go all the way through on the other ones because Mental Canvas, that's the one. I'm not sure what your name is, but the name of the app you're looking for is Mental Canvas. It's not something I use. Bronze, so you might not be that far off of being a year though soon. You might be close to a silver. Do you want me to have a look? Go have a look. Do you know what, actually, I think it may kill my computer. I'm trying to think if there's another way of me doing it. I'll leave it for now. I'll maybe post people's dates, how far they are through, afterwards. Okay, so let's get back. This was a cool concept, a day and night one. not Kid Cudi, but a day and night of the same thing. Little hillside, and literally just flip the whole thing and then change the colours round. Kind of cool. It also looks like with the horizon line here of the water that it splits into 4. So it looks like a pointed triangle, like this is the tip of the triangle point, and then these are the 4 sides of it. It's pretty cool. You're on 6 months. Perfect. Awesome. I think it's Christy, like I said, is the closest one. You like Kid Cudi? He hasn't made music in a long time though. Sophie said, I think I only know Day and Night maybe. There's maybe the odd other one. Old concepts, but you can see like these ones ended up making it onto YouTube. The frosted fish. I was very tempted to do this one recently. And truth be said, Tati's version of the planet with the clouds over the top was such a sick idea. Like she absolutely nailed it. If you do Tati's tutorial, I would try and test your ability to try and draw something like this on the ground, like so the moon surface, and do the same techniques that Tati did in her tutorial, because that planet skies one was sick. The introduction, should I say, of the clouds were sick. Very, very cool. Julie says, I need to shoot off now, but thanks as always, Joel. Have a good night, everyone. Julie, enjoy the rest of your week, my love, and I will see you again next week. New subscriber on YouTube. What's up, Tim? How you doing? You are right though, Jay. A lot of these could be that T word, but don't go saying it. You know what happens. Little ban. T word. This is sick, but I tried to redraw it recently and I don't know why I could not get this to look right. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll try and do it again. Looks pretty sick though. What else we got? Flip it around a second here because we're getting into some other stuff down here. I wanted to make this one into a tutorial. Maybe not specifically this. The proportions, this is a bit too tall, but I fancied making this into a tutorial. I did like a little series of these back for Patreon. Again, do you know what? This is actually kind of interesting. This particular one here, I'm going to redraw it in a certain way, exactly the same. So reuse this exact same canvas, remove the reflection, and next time Julie joins, she'll start with a 5-minute ban. Remember that. This one is obviously the tutorial, the design that pretty much like made Joel create what it is. To be honest with you, I'm not saying it's like enormous, but it kickstarted a lot of things because this got like 3.1 million views on TikTok. But because I feel it is the thing that started it all, I'm going to redraw it in a way where it will be black line work and stipple style, and potentially get it tattooed, potentially. Just this triangle with the planet, the inside stippled in there, none of the reflection, so it will just sort of be fade out. It's going to take a little while for me to draw it in that particular way and redo it, but I really want it. I want to commemorate it, I guess. Because again, if it weren't for that, it wouldn't have done well on TikTok. TikTok wouldn't have gone all the way up to 100,000 followers in, I nearly swore there, 100,000 followers pretty quickly. People wanting YouTube videos, people then wanting full tutorials, so made the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel then turned into Patreon tutorials as well. And now I live stream every Wednesday for y'all beautiful people. So yeah, it just keeps going. Which is sick. Went up 20k, all that sort of stuff. So anyway, this one did really well, so I'm gonna try and redraw it. Redos are great. I'm doing that come January. Wait, someone did get muted for using the T word though. No, yeah, they did. Julie's really testing us there. Right, so let's. So anyway, sorry, I did a couple of series of them. So it was that one, and then I ran into this one here with the. I just showed you the reflection underneath as well. Very simple to do. Just palm tree stamps. We could draw the circle, cut the lines out ourselves, do the neon lines, a little bit of land here. Straightforward enough tutorial. Pretty cool idea to do. I know people like them. Then I tried this one with a different shape. Planet in a different position, a little sort of lens flare there for a planet making its way through. I thought that was pretty sick. I felt awful because Kay said it and I used it on Cat, sorry, I used it on Cat and she didn't deserve it. I also don't think I got like a pop-up or anything additional to like say you'll ban this person for 5 minutes, blah blah blah. It just went boom, ban, like muted for 5 minutes. And I felt awful because, again, you think you know someone and you don't want them to feel offended. But luckily, you know, I know she knows it was just a joke. Yeah, it was luckily taken the right way. And then we did this one anyway. So it was just like a planet and a lens flare there for like a sun in the background. I then tried it once more and really exhausted the concept at this point. Tried a sort of doorway window with two coming through. This was very early. And yeah. Then moved into other neon stuff like this rose. Just lots of line work on the same line and same concept. Flip it upside down underneath and go from there. Cool. Well, to be honest with you, I've not got any other concepts to necessarily draw as such. So let's flick this round. Now, if you are here in the stream, I appreciate you being here. And so here's a very quick sneak peek of this Friday's YouTube tutorial. We have this beautiful pebble design. Bit brighter on the screen as always, a little bit darker in reality. This beautiful pebble design creating this turtle. The detail and whatnot in the pebbles looks sick. You end up, look at all those cool patterns just across the board in all of them. And they all have their own little pattern in there. Very, very sort of pretty looking. But that is the tutorial that's coming out on Friday. Super, super excited for everybody to see this one. And keep an eye out for it. If you are a super supporter or a superstar supporter, you have early access already. You had early access yesterday, so you can crack straight on with this one. Very, very pretty design. I've done the whole month for Patreon now, all caught up. Also, if you're a Patreon supporter, I'm going to make an addition to the sort of schedule of stuff. There'll be a post that you'll see at the very top of all the posts. I'll pin it at the top, and every month I'm going to post up the schedule. So rather than you just get things that randomly come through, you'll know that tutorial 1 comes out on this day and the sneak peek for it comes out on this day. And then again, tutorial number 2, you'll know when the sneak peek comes out and when the tutorial comes out. Likewise for the third one as well. So you can see the whole schedule at the very start of the month. You won't see the sneak peeks obviously just yet. They'll come at certain dates, but you'll get an idea at least for the schedule, because we had that conversation regarding do you want your tutorials all at once, do you want them separately? So I think you'll be able to see what I've planned for that particular month, but I think they will be planned to be spread out a little bit more. It's just on months that work out like this month, where literally the first of the month is pretty much the Tuesday, so therefore you get bang tutorial straight away, bang another one on the 8th, another one on the 15th, and then you would have nothing for the rest of the month. So yeah, just like a nice infographic, what you can expect on certain days and whatnot. And then I always leave a little window at the end of the month so I can do a nice recap of how the month went. So it's just a nice little addition there. What else is there to say? As always, if you can like as many videos as you can, if you see a tutorial and you do one, if you like it, helps the channel out a bunch, or comment on any videos. You can like this live stream as well. It will help send it out to more people in the morning when they wake up, or if they finish work, they'll be able to watch this live stream back. And yeah, I think that's it. So I think I'm going to sort of pack it up there, to be honest with you. I've not got anything to draw. I know we only did the one design, and to be honest though, looking back through a lot of those designs helped me understand what you do and do not like. Yes, I can get an idea now for other things that I can do with previous designs, which is awesome. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up there, to be honest. I could tell that you wanted. There we go. I knew it was coming. New tutorial on Friday, and we're done for the month on Patreon. So there'll be, we got a special guest. We got a special guest next week, I believe, if all goes well with schedule, making sure it's all done. We have a beautiful design for next week. Special guest. Good to get the special guest back up again in terms of a series. As always, if you stumble across a Patreon a Procreate creator, and you think that they need some exposure, please feel free to send me a DM with their Instagram or something, or their YouTube channel, and I'll do the rest. Fortunately, I've got my eyes everywhere, but with a little help from everybody, I'm sure we can find them. Exactly what Marie says. Boom, there we go. Don't forget to suggest some new and upcoming YouTubers. Please subscribe to Funky T Creations on YouTube. She is working very hard to create Procreate tutorials, and I pestered her about it at the start of the year, and now she's doing really well. And I know you're all doing it as well, which is awesome. So yeah, if you see any, please let me know. I'm going to keep my eyes out for a couple as well. So I'm going to wrap it up anyway. I always do this right at the end of the stream. Just end up just sort of blabbing for a little bit. Just don't want to let you go. I don't want to let you go. But I got to let you go. Right, anyway, I will wrap it up there. Listen, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Troy, if you're still here, my friend, thank you for gifting the memberships to everybody. Enjoy your memberships, everybody. You've got a whole month of them, so just enjoy your little badge and your comments in the descriptions down below everywhere. And you can use your emojis in the comments as well. And obviously, hopefully, I think all of them went through. I can't actually check, but I will try to afterwards, because Troy gifted 10 and I gifted 10, so there should be 20 additional people, but I can see I don't think all of Troy's went through, so I'll just need to see what's up with that, if there is any. But have a wonderful, enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week, your afternoon, evening, whatever you're up to. I'll see you again next Wednesday. I changed the schedule next week, and enjoy the tutorial on Friday. So thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you all being here. If you're not here, I'm not here, and we'll see each other again next week. Ciao.